Ever wondered how to make a delicious, nut-free chocolate ganache buttercream? Well, you're in the right place. Today we're taking a deep dive into the world of baking, focusing on a delightful twist to the traditional buttercream. Nut-free alternatives have gained significant attention in recent years, opening up a world of options for those with dietary restrictions. It's not just about being inclusive, it's about crafting a treat everyone can enjoy. Our nut-free chocolate ganache buttercream is just that. The ingredients are simple, yet the result is nothing short of spectacular. We'll be using semi-sweet chocolate, heavy cream, unsalted butter, powdered sugar, and a dash of vanilla extract. Each ingredient plays a crucial role, coming together to create a rich, creamy, and utterly irresistible frosting. So, ready to whip up a storm in the kitchen? Let's dive straight into it. Scene script. First things first, let's get the chocolate ganache ready. Now, making a chocolate ganache might sound like a fancy culinary feat, but trust me, it's as simple as it gets. All we need are two key ingredients, heavy cream and, of course, chocolate. But not just any chocolate, we're talking about good quality dark chocolate, chopped into even pieces. This will ensure a smooth and rich ganache. So, let's start with the heavy cream. We're going to heat it up, but not to a boil. We're looking for a gentle simmer. You see, too much heat can scorch the cream, and we certainly don't want that. We're after a velvety texture, and that comes from treating our ingredients with care. Once your cream is heated, it's time to introduce it to the chocolate. Now, this is where the magic happens. Pour your warm cream over the chopped chocolate. The heat from the cream will start to melt the chocolate, creating a luscious mixture. But wait, don't rush this process. Let the cream and chocolate sit for a minute or two. This allows the chocolate to melt evenly. Now get your whisk and start stirring. Stirring too vigorously can introduce air bubbles, so keep it slow and steady. As you stir, you'll notice the mixture starting to come together. It'll go from two separate ingredients to a glossy, smooth, and absolutely tempting chocolate ganache. The color will deepen, and the texture will become silky. This is the moment you've been waiting for. Now remember, patience is key here. If your ganache looks a bit grainy, or if there are still some chocolate pieces remaining, don't worry, just keep stirring. The residual heat will continue to melt the chocolate, resulting in that perfect ganache we're after. Once you've achieved this, take a moment, admire your work. You've just made a classic chocolate ganache. But we're not done yet. Let the ganache cool down. It needs to thicken slightly before we can use it in our buttercream. Voila! Your chocolate ganache is ready. Let it cool while we move on to the next step. Now, it's time to make the buttercream. Imagine this, the sweet, creamy, and smooth texture of buttercream melting in your mouth, overlaying a rich, chocolatey undertone. Sounds divine, doesn't it? Well, you're about to make that dream a reality. Let's kick things off by beating the butter. You'll want to use unsalted butter that's at room temperature. This is crucial because it allows the butter to whip up nicely and incorporate the other ingredients more effectively. So take your electric mixer and beat the butter on medium speed until it becomes creamy. This should take about 2 to 3 minutes. And remember, patience is key. You're looking for a light and fluffy consistency, almost like a cloud. Now that you've got your butter nice and creamy, it's time to gradually add the powdered sugar. Make sure to sift your sugar before adding it to the butter. This helps to get rid of any lumps and makes for a smoother buttercream. Start off by adding a small amount of powdered sugar to your butter. Beat it on low speed initially to avoid a cloud of sugar in your kitchen. Once the sugar is incorporated, you can increase the speed to medium and beat until it's well combined. Repeat this process until all the powdered sugar is incorporated. But wait, we're not quite there yet. It's time to add a little magic ingredient, vanilla extract. This will give your buttercream that extra depth of flavor. Pour in a teaspoon of pure vanilla extract and beat it into the mixture. You'll notice that the buttercream starts to get a little glossier, signifying that it's well mixed. Now here's an optional step. If you find your buttercream is too thick, you can add a splash of milk or cream to lighten it up. But take care to add it slowly and sparingly. You don't want to end up with a runny mess, right? But what if it's too thin, you ask? Well, in that case, just add a bit more powdered sugar to thicken it up. Remember, making buttercream is a bit like being a magician. It's all about finding the right balance. And there you have it. You've just made your very own buttercream. It's creamy, it's smooth, and it's ready to be combined with our previously prepared chocolate ganache. Making buttercream might seem like a daunting task, but once you get the hang of it, it's as easy as pie. Just remember, the key to a good buttercream is patience and precision. So take your time, follow the steps, and before you know it, you'll have a bowl of creamy, dreamy buttercream ready to transform your cakes and cupcakes. Great job, you've just made buttercream, but we're not done yet. Opening, it's time to bring our chocolate ganache and buttercream together. Now we are on the most exciting part of our culinary journey. We've created our rich, silky chocolate ganache and our fluffy, sweet buttercream. It's time to marry these two stars of the show to create a truly spectacular, nut-free chocolate ganache buttercream. So you have your buttercream and your cooled ganache, right? Remember, the ganache should be cool but still pourable, not solid. If it's too hot, it will melt the buttercream, and if it's too cold, it won't blend well. Let's get started. Begin with a scoop of buttercream in your bowl. Then add a small amount of your ganache. We're looking for a gradual introduction here, not an overwhelming flood of chocolate. This is to ensure that our buttercream maintains its light, airy texture while absorbing the rich chocolate flavor. Now it's time to beat the mixture. Use your mixer on a medium setting to combine the two. You'll want to continue mixing until the ganache is fully incorporated into the buttercream. You should notice a change in the color and texture of your buttercream. It will start to take on a beautiful, glossy chocolate hue and feel smoother to the touch. Continue this process, adding ganache gradually and mixing thoroughly after each addition. This is not a race, so take your time. Patience is key here, and the reward is a perfectly balanced chocolate ganache buttercream. As you near the end of your ganache, do a taste test. If you feel like it needs a bit more chocolate, go ahead and add the rest. But remember, less is more. You want to taste the complexity of the buttercream along with the richness of the chocolate ganache. And before you know it, you'll have created the perfect blend of buttery sweetness and rich chocolate. This is the magic moment when two become one, creating a sumptuous, nut-free chocolate ganache buttercream. Closing. And there you have it, a delicious, nut-free chocolate ganache buttercream. Now that the buttercream is ready, it's application time. Let's talk about how this decadent chocolate ganache buttercream can bring your cakes and cupcakes to a whole new level. Picture this, a freshly baked, moist cake or cupcake, all nut-free of course, swirled with a generous layer of our rich chocolatey buttercream. Sounds heavenly, right? This ganache buttercream is incredibly versatile. It can be used to frost cakes, cupcakes, or even sandwiched between cookies. It spreads smoothly and holds its shape well, making it great for piping intricate designs. Plus, its intense chocolate flavor pairs beautifully with a variety of cake flavors, from classic vanilla to fruity strawberry. Now, let's say you've made a batch of this buttercream, but you don't need to use it all at once. Don't worry, it won't go to waste. Here's a tip for you. Store your leftover buttercream in an airtight container. If you're planning to use it within a week, pop it in the fridge. If it's going to be longer than that, you can freeze it for up to 3 months. Just make sure to let it come to room temperature and give it a good stir before using it again. Remember, patience is key when working with buttercream. If it seems too stiff after storage, just let it sit at room temperature for a bit. If it's too soft, a short stint in the fridge will firm it up. With a little practice, you'll master the art of making and using this chocolate ganache buttercream. So there you have it. Whether you're a seasoned baker or just starting out, this chocolate ganache buttercream is a game changer. It's rich, it's creamy, and best of all, it's completely nut-free. Making it is a piece of cake and using it is even easier. So what are you waiting for? So that's how you make a delicious nut-free chocolate ganache buttercream. Happy baking!